Hi, I'm Tracy, the E-Lightened artist. So I've had this Wallke H6 for over 6 months now. Put over 1,000 miles on it, and I'm still doing mods. Breaking stuff too.
Hey babe, can you go pick up some dinner?
Why, yes I can.
So she didn't actually specify where to go get dinner. Num-nums. Oh yeah, you're here for a bike review. Let's chat about that.
So of all the mods I've done to this bike, putting BMX bars on here is definitely my favorite. Not only do they look badass, they're much wider, which makes all the difference when it comes to comfort and control. I love these things. Especially compared to the stock teeter-totter pogo stick action. Oh man, night and day difference. I highly recommend it. The fork stem is standard size, just like any other bike, so you can slap any BMX setup on here, no sweat. I stole these off my racing BMX. Now these are 9 1/4 bars, which is on the tall side. You could go 10, but that gets kind of expensive. Either way, I recommend getting one of these extensions. They're pretty cheap, and it just helps dial in the geometry of the bike. So when I first set these up, I had the screen down on the neck inverted. It looked really cool, except for the extra cables coming up here. It kind of got sloppy. So I stuck it up here on the crossbar, so now all my cables are wrapped in a nice Y. So I dig it up here. Everything's nice and clean and open. For cable management, I ditched that curly cable and went with this cable schlock. It's really cool stuff, especially just neoprene with a Velcro strip on it. You just trim it, wrap it, and stick it. You get like 10 feet of this stuff for 13 bucks on Amazon, so I'm gonna use this crap everywhere. I like the way it looks too. We'll see if it holds up. Now I held off on this mod because I didn't want to lose the ability to fold over the handlebars. But after having it for 6 months, I realized I didn't really utilize it that much. So here you go, screw it. But if being able to fold down your handlebars is important to you, go check out David Brand New. He's the turtleneck guru. His product allows you to have the best of both worlds. Go check him out. So I also swapped out the 52-tooth chainring with this 60-tooth aluminum job. Now, I'm not 100% happy with it. The chain pops off every time I jump, so I've still got to dial it in, and I'm not 100% sure I'm happy with it or if it's even worth doing. So I'm going to keep experimenting with it, and I'll save that for another video if I decide it's worth it. So how satisfied am I with this bike after 1,000 miles? Well, I still love it, and I've abused the hell out of it. I did break the kickstand and the derailleur when I first got it. I just wasn't used to having such low-hanging fruit hanging off the back of a 20-inch, so I kept smacking them into curbs. But Wallke replaced them, even though I broke them, and I learned my lesson. Haven't done it since. They're all still fine. The rear tire is showing some wear, but the brakes and spokes are still all super tight. I've had zero issues with any of the controls or the throttle or the levers or anything. It's all still super tight, just like when I got it. The one point of failure I found were the plastics that make up the battery top and the connection and that housing for the locking mechanism. Now most of you out there ride like mature adults, so you probably won't have this problem. But if you're at all aggressive like I am, or you got potholes, or you try to go off-road, there's going to be issues back here. In all honesty, the suspension on this bike is nothing to write home about. So thanks to suspension seat post and an upgraded Springer saddle, all that vibration doesn't reach my butt, but it wreaks havoc on that battery. So Wallke sent me a new battery cap and they offered to send me a new lock housing, but I'm perfectly happy bypassing that whole situation. I would just break it again. I did cut a piece of closed cell foam from the packing material and made a pad for the battery to sit on, canceling some of those vibes. Then I just strap it down, connect it to the harness, and it's good to go. Now I can be jostled all day with nothing left to shatter. The connection is super tight, so no worries there. Now obviously it's not locked to the bike anymore, but I don't leave it anywhere where I'm worried about it, and if I was, I would either just take it out or I could just cable lock it to the frame. Now I had a subscriber specifically ask me if he should go with the H6 or the X3. He was looking for a bike he could load up with fishing gear and go hop honey holes on. I recommended the X3. So the H6 is a great all-weather commuter, but when it comes to off-road, the rear suspension's kind of tight and the front suspension is a little sloppy. So it's just kind of a crappy ride. It'll do it, but the X3 is just really at home off-road. All right, man, it's almost time to go night-night. It's fishing and camping season. I just switched to lithium on my kayak trolling motor, so maybe that deserves a video here soon. And I just brought in a new 1967 Beetle project, so there's definitely going to be some content on that. So slug that bug if you're so inclined to check some of that out. Thanks again for watching, guys. Keep them comments coming. Thanks again to Wallke Ebikes, to Tannus Armour, to Xnito Helmets, to Caffrey Cyclery in Nampa, and of course my beautiful wife.
Mom, where's Dad at?
He went to get dinner like 2 days ago.
Oh, okay.